What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the 10-7 MMA podcast. I'm your host, DS, and I'm here with my main man, Dino Bam.
What's going on, Dino?
What's up, man?
Good to be back, right?
I missed you, dude.
I missed you, too.
It feels like it's been much longer than 2 weeks, to be honest.
It has.
It has been 2 weeks, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
There's been 1 week of no fights.
Right.
We recorded like maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Yeah. It's been a while.
And
I'm glad the UFC's back in our life, and I'm glad you're back in my life.
Likewise, my friend.
There we go.
Likewise.
There we go.
On that note, we've got a huge card for you. UFC 287. Massive card. We did have a couple fights drop off, couple fighters fall off. Li Jingliang and Michael Chiesa were supposed to fight on this card. That's not happening anymore. Unfortunate, because I really was looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
We also had a change of opponent for
Chase Sherman.
For Chase Sherman, thank you. Now it's Karl Williams instead of it was supposed to be
Chris Barnett.
Huggy Bear. Yes,
Huggy Bear.
of course.
What a great nickname. And it sucks because remember like 2 weeks ago we were talking about that, like Chris Barnett opening up the prelims. It's a good way to get the crowd going if he gets a knockout. He does some flip. He does some athletic shit, being like a fat guy.
I love the flip on the ass. That's the best.
Unreal. Adorable. Looks like a teddy bear.
And I love Daniel Cormier. It's one of the few times I really enjoyed Daniel Cormier's commentary is when he's commentating on the flip that that Barnett does. In any case, we do have a huge card. Obviously, the main event goes without saying. Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya. Their fourth fight overall. The second fight in the UFC. But let's get right into it, man. Unless you have something else that you'd like to discuss beforehand.
Nah, I'm ready to go. There's been a lot of news. We don't need to cover that right now, though. The WWE merger is kind of interesting.
It's very interesting.
Maybe we'll get to see some crossovers both ways.
Conor already made it known that... What the fuck is in my eye, bro? What's going on? Conor made it known that he's going to do some shit. So he's... Of course he did. Of course he stuck his grubby little paws in it. But I love it. Let's get it. Cool, man. Well, let's get right into it. First fight of a couple women's fights on this card. I think there's 3 actually. Yeah, three women's fights, and it's still a good card. So, what does that tell you about the rest of the card? First fight of the night. It's Sam Hughes versus newcomer making her UFC debut from the LFA, Jacqueline Amorim. I'm gonna take this one first.
Go for it.
This is. I mean, I'm just joking, obviously, in general. I actually really like this fight. Sam Hughes, I know her record's not great. I feel like her record is worse than she actually is. I feel like when you look at her fight, she passes the eye test a lot better than some of these other fighters that we watch. What do you think?
Sam Page, man, yeah, she's solid. She has been solid for a while. I wasn't impressed last time out. She actually looked really bad the last time out, but before that, yeah, man, I agree. She looks pretty good most of the time. Yeah, last time out versus, Pereira Rodriguez,
who's not like a big name either. Didn't look great.
Though.
Undefeated, sure, but, she does have a win against Elise Reed, who didn't look terrible. She did lose to, or she was supposed to, she lost to Luana Pinheiro, who was also on this card. But yeah, man, I mean, I think this is a fight of Sam Hughes, who's not bad, versus Jacqueline Amorim, who at this weight class is finishing people, everybody in the first round, it seems like. In the LFA, which obviously is, a really decent promotion. Yeah. She's been super impressive. I mean, her record isn't like amazing either. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. She's 6-0. I was looking at Sam Hughes' record.
Mosquito in here.
Oh, damn.
Maybe that's what was in your eye.
It's like the first one of the year then.
I like it.
Yeah, man. Armbar finish, knee bar finish, finishes by punches, rear naked choke. I'm really, really impressed. I mean, we just don't see a lot of finishers at this weight class. She's a few years younger. I think her game plan is going to be very clear. She's going to want to take Hughes down. She's going to want to take her down and submit her, right? All but one of her finishes are by submission, and she's literally never been out of the first round.
Yeah.
Sam Hughes, not a bad fighter. I just think that her jiu-jitsu doesn't really hold a candle to Jacqueline Amorim. Yeah. If it stays on the feet, I guess it could be kind of a toss-up. There's no way this is staying on the feet.
Yeah.
So, I think Amorim comes in, and in my opinion, her ground game is, if not the best, it's top 2 or 3 in the division already. Yeah. I'm going to go Amorim by first-round submission.
Sure. I just want to throw one more thing in about Amorim. You mentioned she's never been to the second round, and all the finishes except for one were by sub.
Yep.
That other one is a 10-second knockout, which is wild at 115.
Yep.
Yeah, she's impressive, and as you said, Sam, he was a veteran. She's pretty big for the weight class. That is an advantage for her. She's a solid striker. She's been working in some of the wrestling. She'll need every bit of that wrestling, if she wants to win this fight. I just don't see it happening for her. Amarim has to be the pick here. I'll say second round submission. Probably an armbar, rear naked choke.
Sam Hughes is tough. Yeah,
she has enough toughness, and she's improved her grappling a bit, so maybe she can find a way to survive that first round. I just don't see her surviving 3 rounds. If there is something to worry about for Amarim, as I mentioned, it's the size of Sam Hughes and potentially the cardio. I'm not saying we've seen it be a problem, but when a fighter's never left the first round, we don't know. Yeah, but I'm going to go ahead with...
It doesn't seem like that's something that would be an issue, especially...
Right. At 115
pounds. At 115 pounds, exactly.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying.
Second round sub, Amarim. So we're kind of in the same boat there.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Moving up to the next card, it's Steve Garcia versus Shilan. I can't do it, man. Nerdenbecka.
There we go. Spot on.
Shilan Nerdenbecka.
Spot on.
All right. Yeah, I'll let you take this one first, man.
Sure. So Shilan Nerdenbecka, he's Chinese, is that correct?
He is,
from China.
Doesn't sound like he's Chinese.
Crazy name. 3-1 in the UFC, going here for his 50th pro fight. This is going to be his 50th pro MMA fight, which is bananas, being only 28 years old.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn crazy to me. He lost his promotional debut to your boy, Kuya Kulabau. Yep. And then after that, he rattled off 3 straight wins versus Sean Soriano, Downtown TJ Brown, and Derek Minner. Finally got his first UFC finish last time out.
Derek Minner.
What is that?
Cheating as Derek Minner.
Yeah, that was the fight, correct? Yeah, that was the whole gambling thing. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. Anyways, he's an aggressive grappler. He likes to get you towards the cage, clinch work up against the fence, work his takedowns, good chain wrestling, solid power. He looks like really damn built.
You're talking about Nerdenbecka?
Yeah, Shilan Nerdenbecka. Good ground and pound, good power. Steve Garcia is a guy that's 2-2 in the UFC. Lost his debut to Violent Bob Ross, Luis Pena. Then he beat Charlie Ontiveros via ground and pound and lost to Meerschaert via knockout.
I hate Ontiveros.
Yeah?
I can't stand the sight of him. I don't know what it is.
He's an interesting looking dude. And then last time out, Steve Garcia beat up on Chase Hooper. Steve Garcia is a good grappler, very solid takedown, solid boxing skills. He does get a bit brawly for me.
Garcia? Oh my God, yeah.
God. Which I don't like that from him.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't seem to have too much power, and I feel like if that's the game you want to play, you should probably have
you should be the one that's going to be the threat to knock him out.
Right. Yeah. So he may be, and I'm not sure about this, a little technically better than Shilan Nerdenbecka, but the power is 100% in Nerdenbecka's favor. Can Shilan Nerdenbecka take Steve down? If he does, he should win the fight. If he can't, he still has a decent shot to win the fight. I can't pick Steve Garcia here knowing that, he's not much better than him on the feet.
Yep.
So I'll take Shilan Nerdenbecka, decision 29-28, maybe wins the first 2 and then kind of coasts in that third round.
Yeah, I like it. I actually do think that he's going to get knocked out. I think Nerdenbecka is going to knock him out, and man, I think it's going to be in the first round.
Okay.
So I got the card starting with a bang with 2 finishes in a row.
Let's get it.
Yeah, I just, like you said, versus
really quickly, Dino, if you have 2 finishes at the beginning of the card, that's the moment where you mentioned this last time, but that's the moment where I text you, like, weird feeling on this card.
Yeah,
that's one of those for sure.
I hate when you do that.
If it goes that way.
I feel like you're setting it up. You're drawing that energy in for it to be some sketchy shit.
It's just because if I get that kind of shit makes me uncomfortable.
I know.
And then it's I start finding. You'll always find these things if you look for them.
Yeah.
But you'll start finding repeating little things. 2 guys get leg kicked early on, and it's they start limping. It's is that what this card is?
Yes,
is the leg kick card? Or
yep.
I don't know. Anyways.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and I'm just waiting for that text. So, yeah, man. I think Steve Garcia's biggest problem is that he's chinny. In my opinion, I've seen him get dropped by Ontiveros twice in the first round. Ontiveros not a knockout artist like that.
He seems like he has good power though.
He's got fine power, but I don't know.
No,
I'm not a crazy I don't know. Yeah, Ontiveros was very much getting the best of him. He got dropped versus Meerschaert too.
Yeah.
He was dropped once with a straight and then absolutely pulverized with a step back right hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think he's really chinny. I think unless you're a Chase Hooper level striker,
grappler, or do you mean
striker?
Oh, okay.
Because he finished Chase Hooper.
Right, yeah, he beat him up.
He was whooping his ass. He dropped him like 4 times in the first round. I just think unless you're like a Chase Hooper level striker, which is not good.
Right.
I think as a lot of UFC fighters can get the best of him. Nuremberg, like you said, man, the physique difference is crazy. He is stacked. He got cracked too. He gets cracked, but I mean, he's got a better chin. You know?
Are you worried about someone fighting for the 50th time in MMA at 28 years old?
No,
that doesn't worry you. Maybe not in this matchup in general.
No, it doesn't, because it's not like those guys that are doing that. Usually when you see that, it's either a Russian guy or a Chinese guy.
Yeah.
Right? And
someone
it's like
from Asia, generally.
And it's like, what does professional really mean? You know? Like,
a lot of finishes in the first round. A ton of them as you look at his record.
Yeah. So, I feel like it's a little bit of stat padding going on, too, you know? Yeah, and just not the best competition. I just think Nuremberg is stronger. I think he might be faster, too.
Yeah.
If it goes to the ground, I don't. It could be, I still see Nuremberg winning.
Same,
but yeah, I'm gonna go Nuremberg first round knockout, and hell, if it goes to the later rounds, I could see Garcia winning, maybe the third round. Sure. I just don't see it, man. I think he's gonna get knocked out. So, moving on to the next fight on the card, and this one is Trey Ogden versus who was a replacement. It was supposed to be Nicholas Mota.
Yeah.
Versus Ignacio Bahamondes. You want to take the reins on this one first?
Sure. Let's start with Ignacio Bahamondes, a Chilean-born fighter fighting out of Chicago. Shout out Ignacio Bahamondes.
Shout out Chicago.
Shout out Chicago, baby. His debut was against John McDessie. He lost in a split decision, and then in his second fight, he had that highlight reel knockout. It was Knockout of the Year nominated against Roosevelt Roberts, that spinning wheel kick or whatever.
That was the cleanest spinning.
Yeah.
Aside from probably the Edson Barbosa one.
Sure, yeah.
Versus I forgot who it was.
Right, we just knocks him out stiff.
Dude, that was nuts, but that was the second cleanest one I've seen, and the fact that it was just a clean walk-off, too.
And I just remember watching that fight live, and the feeling that I had was like, Ignacio Bahamondes had won that fight already.
He was just, at the end, he's like, I want this knockout.
Right.
Like,
so that kind of sucked for Roosevelt Roberts, but whatever. After the Roosevelt Roberts fight, he beat Rong Zhu last time out via sub in the third. I like the striking a lot, man. He is super slick. He's fast. He's got good footwork, good head movement. 6'3". He's super damn tall for 155.
Super tall. Yeah.
I really think that this kid can be a problem in this division if he progresses the right way. Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see if he has progressed. It's been over a year since we've seen him in the octagon.
Yep.
So you would hope that he's taken some steps forward. I see that as a plus. That time off at
for
such
a young fighter,
age.
Man, it could
exactly.
Be. If you're if you're
like, 30,
like
31.
Masvidal took off a year, right?
And we see that a ton on this card, and we'll get there. There's a point I want to make later on, and with somebody. Yeah. But anyways, no need to rush at 25 years old. Ignacio Bahamondes looks like the real deal. He's fighting Trey Ogden, who's 1-1 in the UFC, was supposed to fight a few weeks ago. That fight got scrapped last minute. He has to weight cut yet again this week. We've already seen a couple weeks ago that that's not a thing you really want to be doing. He is a pretty athletic grappler, solid vet, solid everywhere. Nothing insane, nothing stands out to me. He's just decently good everywhere he goes. I have to take Ignacio Bahamondes here. The younger fighter, the taller fighter, the longer fighter, the more rested fighter. Didn't have to cut weight multiple times. Seems like a recipe for disaster for Trey Ogden.
Yep.
Ignacio Bahamondes, 30-27. I think he shuts him out.
Yeah. And by the way, just real quick, shout out VFS Academy in Wooddale. Chicago-based, let's say, right? They got Yair. They got Ignacio Bahamondes. Who else? They had one other guy that was a bigger name. I forget now, but
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, hell, you don't have a lot of fighters fighting out of Chicago,
right.
but that's a legit gym. So,
and really, he was last time out. I believe it was. Never mind, wrong guy. Not Ignacio Bahamondes. Someone later on the card.
No problem. I agree with you, man. I really, really like Ignacio Bahamondes. 6'3" at 155 is crazy. The only other person with that kind of size is my boy Jalen Turner.
The tarantula. Shout out Jalen Turner.
Absolutely. He's super young, man. Like you said, what, 25?
Yeah, 29. Yes.
25, 26. There's
25,
no way
25.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah. I was looking at the next fight.
You know, he was going to fight Nick Mota. In my opinion, Nick Mota's probably better than Trey Ogden.
Yeah. I agree.
I would have rather have seen that fight. I would have had him winning that too. I really like his style, man. He does stand and bang a lot at times.
Yeah.
And he gets clipped really hard. Like he needs to work on his head movement a little bit, his slips. I do like his footwork. You know, he's fought okay competition already in the UFC. Yeah. I'm really excited to see what he can do. I think he's got nice power. He's got a really good chin he's shown. I think he fights beyond his years, too. You know, I think he fights really composed.
He's good, man.
And clean, you know. I really like... He also... His stance switches, I noticed, are really effortless. Yeah. And for somebody so young, I think that is really, really impressive, you know. Showed some nice sweeps, too. Also, a thing to note, 100 significant strikes in all 3 of his UFC fights so far.
By the way, I think this fight is being contested at 160.
Oh, is that? Okay.
Which, you know...
Well, there goes everything out the window.
Right. For those extra 4 pounds.
Yeah. Trey Ogden, I mean, he's looked okay. You know, he did lose to your boy, Jordan Levitt. He's got a nice jab. You know, he's got some nice leg kicks. I just don't see it, man. I think Bahamondes is going to piece him up. Man, I could see this being a knockout too, but I'm going to go 30-27 decision.
Just to stay safe, because if we get 3 knockouts in a row to start this card...
Oh, you're going to lose it.
Yeah, you're getting that text.
You're going to lose... Oh, I'm getting that text before that, even, for sure. But, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that regardless. Moving up to the next fight on the card, it's the 4th one of the night. It's your girl, Cynthia Calvillo. Versus... It's not a your girl, I'm sorry.
Fine. No, it's fine.
It's fine? Okay.
I don't mind her.
You like her?
I wouldn't say she's a my girl.
No, certainly not.
But she's a nice. She looks like a nice lady.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, man. I guess I'll take this one first. She's fighting Lupita Godinez.
What? Say that again.
Lupita Godinez.
Is that how you want to say it?
Lupita Godinez.
Oh.
How do you want me to say it?
Is it an Enye in her name?
No, it's not. It's just Lupita Godinez.
Just an N.
Yeah.
A regular old N.
Yeah. What are you doing? Right
No,
now?
I'm just.
What do you want me to do with this?
You said Lupita. I know you got a little more sauce to you than that. I've heard you speak Spanish. You speak decent Spanish.
Yeah, true. Thanks, man.
Don't sell yourself short.
I was having a conversation.
I'm waiting for a Masvidal later on.
Oh, you know I'm here. Masvidal. He needs to decide how he wants me to say it. Okay.
Yeah.
He needs to decide. Masvidal.
Is it George? Is it Jorge?
Jorge, like, pick one.
Right.
I'm fine with it. It's your name, bro.
Hey.
Just let me know. Pick one. Yeah, you know, Lupita. Lupita.
Ooh. That's got a little flavor to it.
Lupita Godinez versus Cynthia Calvillo. I think this one's pretty straightforward, man.
Yeah.
Cynthia I don't think this fight's going to happen.
Fair,
What's going on right now?
It's probably all the mosquitoes.
I hate these dang mosquitoes, man.
Skaters.
Yeah, you know, I think, first of all, why is she doing this? Why is she coming back down to 155? It's over.
115. Don't say 55.
115, thank you. I know it was a 5 in there.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's it. You know, like
she missed weight last time.
She's almost 36.
Yeah.
She missed weight at a heavier weight class.
Yeah.
Now you're moving down. And now you're fighting. Lupita Godinez seems like a very hungry fighter. Like I feel like she fights really hard. Aside from her last fight? Yeah, she didn't good in her last. She didn't look great in her last fight.
She didn't good at all. She did not good at all.
Yeah, no, she didn't good.
Yeah,
she didn't good whatsoever.
She batted.
Even you might even be able to say. She also has a loss to Luana Carolina.
Hey.
Not a good fighter.
What are you gonna do about it?
I'm not gonna do anything about it.
Same.
I'm just saying, you know. Yeah, she's 36 years old, fighting at 115. I don't think this fight happens. I genuinely don't. It's hard to cut weight as it is at 36 years old, coming down a weight class when you just missed weight. Not smart. I just think it's over. It's time for her to move on to other ventures. Maybe she can open like a Bennigan's or something.
Hey,
like just
could be something like that.
Could be something like that. Like just do something.
If you know, you know.
Right.
Shout out Bennigan's.
Shout out Curtis Tate.
Shout out Curtis Tate.
Yeah, man. You know, she was really good before. 2017 to 19 was like her prime.
Yeah.
She has some really good wins in that time frame. I just think the game's passed her up at this point. I think Lupita Godinez is a decent fighter, man. I think she's got much better wrestling at this stage of her career than Cynthia does. I don't think Cynthia has anything crazy on the feet either, and I think she's slow. Yeah, I mean, I just think that... Oh, and also, she gave up on the stool versus Andrea Lee.
Yeah.
So, and I know Andrea Lee's a pretty good fighter, and no shame in doing that, you know? But it's kind of shameful in doing that, right? Like, let your corner do it, if anything.
Right.
You know? Yeah, I'm going to go Lupita. I'm going to go Lupi Godinez by 30-27 decision.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you in terms of the result. I think 30-27 Lupi Godinez is the only way you can predict this fight.
Unless she comes out just super sloppy like she did versus Angela Hill.
Right. If she's 80% the fighter she was before that Angela Hill fight,
exactly,
she should win this fight. And that's no knock against Cynthia Calvillo. I really do like her. I think she's a good fighter. She is on a 4-fight losing streak to 3.5, let's say, top-level fighters. You know, not to knock Nina Nunes, but three really top-level fighters. And Nina Nunes was a solid vet in her own right. Tough opponent. She's decent. 2, I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry, man.
No, it's okay.
You were saying...
Yeah, she lost to some pretty good opponents.
Yeah.
Anyways, she just doesn't look hungry anymore. She looks hungry. She's missing weight. But she doesn't look like hungry anymore in terms of MMA. Like, she doesn't want to do this, man.
Yeah.
She's 35 years old.
She's grasping for straws, man. She's grasping at straws here. You know, like you said, she missed weight. She's moving down a weight class. It's
And I don't even think you necessarily have to technically break this fight down. It just does seem like it's a young, hungry fighter versus someone that's on the way out.
Yep.
And this could be the end for Cynthia Calvillo. It might be the last time we see her in the octagon.
It should be.
If that's the case,
it should be.
We bid her adieu. Peace out.
Goodbye.
But it'd be like that sometimes in MMA.
It do be like that in life and in MMA.
30-27 Cynthia Calvillo.
Absolutely. Next fight on the card, and this was one where it was supposed to be Chris Barnett. We talked about that a little bit, versus Chase Sherman. Now it's Karl Williams versus Chase Sherman. Karl Williams, of course, made his UFC debut and beat Łukasz Brzeski.
Yeah.
Last time out, just what, last month? Not even a month ago at this point. So good on Karl Williams for stepping in on this one.
Let me start this one really quickly.
Yeah, go for it, man.
When that fight was happening, I remember you being very adamant that Williams was going to take Łukasz Brzeski down repeatedly, beat him up. You were certain of it. I had picked Łukasz Brzeski. I can admit when I was wrong. He got his ass beat that fight, and I was very wrong on Karl Williams' wrestling skill. I didn't think very highly of it. I do now. Very simple fight for me here. Chase Sherman is not a good grappler. He went from fighting a guy who's a striker to now fighting a guy that's going to wrestle him for the entirety of the fight.
Russell Fudge.
Yeah, I think Karl Williams will take him down, and he will finish him round 1 via ground and pound, and it might be the end of the Vanilla Gorilla Chase Sherman in the UFC.
Yeah, and you know how I feel about the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
I'm very, very down for some new blood. Yeah, man. Chase Sherman, awful record. You know, like you said, it was going to be a stand-up fight. It's probably not going to be at this point.
Yeah.
Even if Karl Williams stands with him, I could absolutely see him piecing up Chase Sherman. Chase Sherman has a chance, certainly.
Sure.
We haven't seen a lot of Karl Williams, but I think he does have a chance. But like I said last time, man, you know, he was able to out-wrestle. He like went out of his way to take down and out-wrestle a bigger guy who was a Penn State
All-American?
Excuse me, right. And Penn State is like, for those of you who don't know, Penn State is basically like the Alabama of wrestling, just like how Alabama is for football. Would you say?
They're the Duke of
basketball, right, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, to go out and you're like, oh, this guy's going to come wrestle me? Let's wrestle. I'm going to take you down and dominate you. That showed me all I needed to know about Karl Williams, who's not a huge guy for the division either. No. Small for the division. He weighed in, 230, 238 or something like that?
He looks like a big light heavyweight.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah, man, I agree with you. I think he's going to take him down, and I think he's going to ground and pound him. You know, first round, I could totally see it. I think maybe second round, but first or second round for sure, TKO.
Yeah.
I'm
with you there.
That's really all there is to say about that one.
I'll throw in, I saw there was a video on the UFC's YouTube today, It might have been like a promo for the Masvidal and Burns fight, or it may have been embedded. I'm not sure which one it was. But Gilbert Burns was working out. Chase Sherman apparently trains at Sanford. I guess now it's whatever forget their new name.
Oh yeah.
But whatever, he looked good. He was in the background. He looked like he was in great shape.
Chase Sherman?
Yeah, for whatever the hell that's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, same.
I don't know about 953.
True. On that note,
yeah.
I got to tell the people, I went and did the boxing machine, and now I'm hurt.
Yeah.
So I'm hurt.
You're injured. He injured himself.
No,
I
wasn't. I was injured. Mm-hmm. I told you like 2 months ago my elbow's messed up. Sorry.
It's fine. We can swear.
My elbow's even worse now.
Yeah.
So, and I only got a 938, so I have really nothing to show for.
Right.
My effort nor my pain.
Yeah.
So
some funny texts you were sending.
Yeah.
Angry, drunk and angry, but
I wouldn't say I wasn't angry at all. Was I angry? What did I say?
I don't want to say it.
All right. What did I say though? Can you give me the watered down version? Pull up the receipts.
Well, they moved the machine. So there was some excuses.
I thought that was funny. Yeah.
It was funny.
I thought that was pretty funny.
And that
I said, bro, they moved the machine. It's not the same now. Like the atmosphere is different. The vibes are different.
And then you invited me and Drew to come by there. Shout out Drew, by the way, our thumbnail guy.
Yep.
Dope. You invited me and Drew to come out there, and that you would perform some sort of acts for us.
Yep.
If we were able to recreate our scores. That's the PG.
I was off a bean, my guy.
It'd be like that.
Yep.
It do be.
I brought a chick there too. So,
no.
Yeah, and I told her, I was like, I need to do this. I need to get this over 953.
I feel like that's a terrible date.
It's a terrible date. She didn't have a good time. Yeah. Also, the bartender, who I always thought was cute, was there. But that worked out in my favor, though. Like that's a good move.
Well, God opens, closes a door, opens a window.
Bring the chick where there's another chick, and it's like healthy competition.
Let's get it.
Now you're like, whole time you're a regular ass dude.
Right. Let me just drink and punch things.
And you look really cool doing it.
Fair.
So.
Fair.
Anyway, moving up the card. Next fight on the card, it's your boy GM3.
Yeah.
Versus Joe Bodybags.
Joe Pyfer. Can I? Hey, this.
I'd rather you not.
Really quickly. I'm throwing something in here. No, stop it. You stop it.
I don't want to hear it. You just cut me off the last time. Fine, go.
I have to do it again.
Go.
When I first saw this fight,
okay,
nothing stuck out to me more than this is so far.
Yeah.
In this short time we've done this show.
Yep.
This is the most obvious and apparent. What do they drink?
Wow.
Yeah. This one, it was easy to me. It just jumped.
Well, I don't know. Now because nothing jumps at me.
No, their drink didn't jump to me.
Oh, you're saying like this is like
this is the one
to ask you for. Yeah.
This is the one.
Let me look at him. Gerald Meerschaert, first of all.
You're picturing him?
Gerald, I'm looking at him right now. Yeah. It's like me and young Gerald.
You're at the bar.
We're at the bar, and I'm like,
with that lady and that bartender.
Yeah, I'm like, what's up, Jerry? Do you think he goes by Jerry?
No.
You go by Gerald?
Maybe Jer Bear.
Jer Bear, I like that.
I think
Jer Bear.
Yep. Shout out GM3.
Sure.
Right.
Well, I feel like he drinks whiskey, man.
That picture makes you think he drinks whiskey. I feel that.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, maybe. I don't know.
Now I gotta Google. It's a Meerschaert.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Let's see. No,
that makes you feel otherwise.
Well, this just makes me feel like he looks kind of like an alcoholic, maybe. So maybe it is whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of whiskey? What are we talking? Scotch, bourbon, Irish whiskey?
Rye.
Interesting. I like it. Yeah. I can see it.
Yep.
Like Templeton's?
Templeton rye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And maybe he drinks it like with like some like whiskey stones for some reason. Like who does that?
Oh, so he's okay. Yeah. No, I like that. I like it.
Like he pulls up.
But then he really knows about it.
Yeah. He's
like a whiskey enthusiast.
He's like, he dabbles.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then Joe Pyfer.
Joe Bodybags.
I would have said Bud Light, but after their most recent
yeah. After what's going on with them.
Yeah. That was weird.
You think he's making us trade? Switching?
Yeah, I think he's going to be more like a Miller High Life kind of guy now. Okay. Shout out Mark Sheeby.
Shout out Mark
the
Shields.
biggest Miller High Life guy that I know.
Hey, it's the champagne of beers, right?
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
What they say.
Yes. Joe Pyfer, he looks like he does some punching.
Yeah, he'd
like
be punching.
even at home, maybe. Like,
let's not put that on him.
Nah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. What if
here's the thing. I don't remember what it was, but I remember he comes from like a broken home.
Oh.
Or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember what it was.
He for sure did some punching then.
Hey, sometimes you got to punch.
You got to punch your way out.
Yeah.
So Meerschaert versus Joe Pyfer. Did you have anything else to add on this one, by the way?
Well, I never mentioned. No. I just wanted to know what they drink.
Oh yeah, what did you think about what I said that they drink?
No, I like it.
What do you think that they drink?
I agree. I think he's a beer guy. Joe Body Bags.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he'll drink what's there, but he prefers beer.
Yep.
And then GM3, sure, why not? Rye sounds very sophisticated of a 50 fight veteran.
Is he a 50 fight veteran?
51, and this is his 51st.
Damn, true. 35 and 15. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with another knockout in this one. Yeah. I'm gonna go first round knockout.
For Joe Body Bags.
For Joe Body Bags Pyfer. Yeah. Meerschaert is a decent middleweight. After the knockout to Hamzat, we really saw him build back up some momentum.
Yeah.
He had some really nice wins. Versus Jotko, for example, a couple things I noticed. I noticed that Gerald was the noticeably slower fighter.
Sure.
I think Joe Pyfer has got the speed advantage and the power advantage. I think if Meerschaert is going to have a way to win this, it'll be via submission, Of
course, yeah.
His last fight versus Bruno Silva, he choked him out with a guillotine in the third round.
Yeah.
Bruno Silva's a huge, strong dude, man.
Very, yeah.
Remember the fight that he had against Alex Pereira, who's obviously the main event of this card?
Yeah.
Some nice level changes, and he's also got a really nice body kick, like a lot of southpaws do. Mm-hmm. So, I think he's got some... I'm sorry, that was about Joe Pyfer. I apologize.
Joe Body Bags.
Yeah. I just think that Joe Pyfer has more power. We saw him spark out Amedovski in the first round. I think this is Joe Pyfer's opportunity to show if he is, for real, and, might, have some potential to be something, or if he's just a guy who's just going to kind of float around for a while. Really strong punches, crisp, very powerful. He's got good jiu-jitsu, good wrestling. I think he won a grappling tournament matchup recently.
Yes.
Versus Eric Anders.
Your boy.
Yeah, literally your boy. So good for him. He's improving on other parts of his game. Yeah, I'm gonna go him. Maybe not first round knockout, maybe second round knockout, but I do think he's gonna knock out Meerschaert.
Yeah. I was originally kind of leaning GM3 since the fight got booked, but then I realized that I do have to probably pick Joe Body Bags here.
Don't let me sway you.
No.
Because we'll find out the moment.
This is literally what I have written here.
We would find out who you really care about when you place your bets, though.
Right.
Yeah.
So 9 years younger, more power, and good enough jiu-jitsu to survive any of the dangerous situations that he may find himself in. Wildly enough, Joe Pyfer, and I know we had the whole be Joe Pyfer thing, and they were kind of building him up. Still are building him up. He hasn't lost since his Contender Series fight, obviously. So Joe Pyfer, in a weird way, can be that next star at 185.
And Lord knows that it's a division that could use it and needs it. Yeah.
It needs it. GM3 has a little bit of a reputation for kind of ruining those guys. So
he's the ultimate journeyman now, basically. He's the Jim Miller of this weight class.
Yeah, and here's the thing. After the Ian Heinisch and then Hamzat Chimaev knockouts, there was this whole narrative that he has a really weak chin, GM3.
He really doesn't.
But then he's 4-1 in his last 5. And he beat Muradov. He beat, as you mentioned, Bruno Silva, Dustin Stolfutz, who's not a bad guy. Or not a bad fighter. I don't know how he is as a guy. But, he lost to Krzysztof Jotko in between there. He's had a great run. Lucky for him that this isn't Abuz Magomedov, because that would have been a disaster, because that guy is super damn scary. I'd like to see him and Joe Pyfer go at it if Joe Pyfer can win this fight. But I got Joe Pyfer round 3 TKO. I think he drops him and then, ground and pound after that. Really quickly, the B Joe Pyfer thing that's been a thing for me.
Yeah.
And I see that. That is pretty cool. Nice record.
Right.
They mentioned the whole B. Joe Pyfer thing, and he was the first star of that episode of that season of Dancing with the Stars, Dana White's Contender Series.
Yeah.
He was the first star. It was the same season as Raul Rosas and the same season as Bo Nickel.
Yep.
And Raul Rosas is on this card later on. We're going to talk about him in a bit. Mm-hmm. Bo Nickel was on the main card of the John Jones pay-per-view, his first fight.
They're really pushing these guys.
And Raul Rosas is on the main card of this pay-per-view.
Which is
he
ridiculous.
was also... Was he on the main card of the last pay-per-view?
He was.
So they're putting them in immediate, star positions on the pay-per-view.
Oh, they want eyes on them.
What the hell's the deal with Joe Pyfer? What was B. Joe Pyfer about that?
Yeah.
Like, if you're putting him on he was on the early prelims until they reshuffled this card like a few days ago.
Yep.
So what the hell does B. Joe Pyfer get you?
That's some WWE. That's some WWE shit, to be honest. They just put up a guy and then bury him.
And Dino, it's weird because he's getting, this is high level competition, Gerald Meerschaert.
Yeah.
And that's not to knock.
It's certainly higher
Raul
competition
than Jamie
exactly.
Pickett and Raul Rosas' first opponent.
Yep.
Like, I don't know, man. I just think that's really bogus. But yeah.
No, I agree with you. It's kind of strange, but
it's odd.
If anything, they should be giving Joe Pyfer a little bit more hype.
A little more hype, a little better position on the card. Yeah. Maybe an easier fight.
I think it should have been an easier fight. That's why I'm saying if he does win this, that's a big win, man. Mm-hmm. That is a really big win.
Agreed.
And then we have a new potential star in the division immediately. Yeah. It's risky though, because if he loses, you just took his star power out. It's just like that.
Yeah.
Automatic. Like he can still be something. I'm not taking that away from him, but that initial hype train is gone.
Agreed.
So, anything else you want to add for that?
No, man. It's a fun fight. I think that's gonna be a fun fight.
It is. More than anything, I just hope Joe Pyfer does win. Like we said, the division really needs it.
Yeah.
So, aside from heavyweight, middleweight, one of the worst divisions. Next fight on the card, and this is a certified my girl. It's Michelle Waterson Gomez, the Karate Hottie. I love her. She's one of my favorite women's fighters. Versus Luana Pinheiro, who this is a very good looking fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both very good looking women. This one is interesting to me. Did I start the last one? Do you want to take this one first?
That's fine. Luana Pinheiro, right? That's how you say it, Pinheiro?
Yeah.
She's 2-0 in the UFC, won her debut against Randa Marcos. That was the whole...
I hated that, dude.
Yeah, the illegal up kick.
I really hated that.
She did a bit of Aljoing.
Oh, way harder than Aljo.
Way harder than Aljo did.
She really said...
And
she went down, slowly, put herself... And then was like, I'm dead.
I love the eyes.
The eyes.
Yeah, because here's the thing.
The eyes.
We're in Miami, right? We're in Miami for this card. Miami. But hey, the eyes, they never lie, Chico.
They never lie, Chico.
Her eyes were... She was lying.
She was lying. God, dude.
So, anyways, that happened. That was on the Yuri Dominic Reyes card. We talked a little bit about that earlier. Yeah. That card sticks out to me for a few reasons.
Yeah.
After that, she beat Sam Hughes via decision. She seems like she does have a little bit of a mean streak in her. Nasty judo throws.
Oh, dude, amazing judo. She's a judo black belt.
She did that against both ladies. She seems to want to take opponents down with the judo, look for the sub.
She loves the throw from the clinch.
Yeah. And it's super quick and aggressive.
She was tossing Randa Marcos.
Yeah. High finishing rate. She's 29 years old. Obviously, that's a plus when you're fighting the Karate Hottie, who's 37, I believe.
Is she 37? I thought she was 35.
Dino, here's the thing with Luana Pinheiro. She hasn't been that active. And we were talking about that with a 25-year-old in Ignacio Bahamondes and how that can be a positive. I think when you're 29, 30, that's not cute. You should be active unless something happened, unless there's been an injury. Anyways, Michelle Waterson, 6-6 in the UFC, longtime UFC veteran. All 6 losses to really high-level competition. 3 champions. I believe it was Rose, Joanna, and Carla Esparza. Then she lost to Marina Rodriguez. I forget who else, but very high-level competition. Great karate, obviously, as the nickname would tell you. Side kicks from all angles, vicious leg kicks.
Yeah, that's her best weapon is her kicks, for sure.
Decent hands. She's been doing karate for 30 years, so she knows her way around, a fight. I wanted to take Michelle Waterson. I just don't think I can with the age. I think I have to go with the younger fighter who looks a little more aggressive. I don't think Pinheiro's going to allow Michelle Waterson to make it that pretty striking fight. So I'll say 29-28 Pinheiro.
Yep. This is the first time that we disagree. I am going to go with the Karate Hottie, Michelle Waterson.
That's a yo girl.
Yeah, I have to. Yo girl. It really is. She's the older fighter. Unfortunately, I will say this too. I think either way this fight goes, she retires. Okay. After this, I don't want to see it. I mean, but it's probably time, you know.
Did she just get married? Is that what the name change is about?
No, she was, I thought, married, unless they had kids, but we're not married. She's had kids for a while. Mm-hmm. Maybe he was like, I'm sick of you not using my name.
Hyphenate that shit.
Right.
As, you know, the conversation goes.
Yeah.
In many households across the country daily.
So
probably.
many. Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, Michelle Waterson has like 25 years of experience, man. You know, she's a really, really good, clean striker. Some of the best kicks in the business. Dude, she looked okay against Marina Rodriguez. And, I mean, Amanda Lemos, you know, beat her ass, submitted her. But, you know.
That's Amanda Lemos.
Whatever. Yeah, I just think the people that she's lost to are really high level. I just can't get behind somebody who's such a coward that they're winning a fight and they take the easy way out with a fake ass knockout. Like,
well, if it's Luana Pinheiro, you would get behind her. I'm just saying.
Okay, yeah, definitely, and get a sniff. But yeah, I mean, do you want to fight or do you not want to fight? That's my thing.
Right?
Is like, how are you going to be winning the fight? And you're like, you know what? This is a lot easier. I'm dead.
Right.
Like,
take a dub.
So I don't like that. You know, for me, Karate Hottie for my money. I'm gonna go 29-28 Karate Hottie by decision. Luana Pinheiro, I could see her, you know, winning the first round, coming out really aggressive. Karate Hottie does a good job of staying in fights. She doesn't like give up ever really. So yeah, I think this is her retirement fight. I think, you know, if it is legend of the sport, you know, so like she's fought the best of the best, man. Yeah. You know, and it always puts up a good fight. So yeah, I'm gonna go Karate Hottie 29-28 decision.
Let's get it.
Moving up the card to, and this is pathetic to me that this fight is on. This is what's wrong with the UFC sometimes, man. Like they're pushing Rosas and all this, and they got Gastelum versus Chris Curtis, Kevin Gastelum versus Chris Curtis on the prelims. Like that's really disrespectful and pathetic to me. I mean, Kevin Gastelum has fought in championship fights, right?
A championship fight.
Championship fight. Yes, thank you. I mean, I don't know. To me, that's pathetic. Yeah, I'll go first on this one.
Run it.
This is I don't know. I really don't know. Like, it's a really tough one for me.
Sure.
I watched so much film on this one. Kevin Gastelum, like, what even really happened to him? You know, he's not that old.
No, he's the younger fighter.
He's like by 4 years or something, right? Like,
let's see.
He's like 30.
31 to 35.
34, 35, exactly. 4 years. So, what happened to him, dude?
I think he just took a lot of damage in that Adesanya fight, and he hasn't been the same since, to be honest.
Adesanya took a lot of damage in that fight, man. I don't know.
Right, but, you know, people wear it different ways, I guess.
You're right, but once one of the brightest prospects and stars in the middleweight division, he has lost a lot lately, man.
Yeah.
But in his defense, it's been two really damn good fighters, you know?
Yeah.
It's been to, like, literally the best of the best, you know?
Guys that fight for titles.
The guys that fight for titles. Cannonier, Whitaker, of course, sprinkled in a win versus Heinisch there. Yeah. Then he lost to Hermanson by a heel hook in the first round. Jack Hermanson's a great grappler. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Lost to Darren Till, which that was weird.
But that was Darren Till when
he was actually good.
Yeah.
God, I missed that, man. You know I'm a huge Till guy.
Yeah.
And then he had the loss to Adesanya, you know. Before that, wins against Michael Bisping, who was in his prime, pretty much.
Yeah, Jacare
in his prime. Lost to Chris Weidman in the third round, though. Like, that was a decent fight.
Beat Johnny Hendricks.
Who beat GSP pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's weird to see a guy go from competing in such high-level fights who's not that old, and then it's just like, what the hell happened? But you're right. Maybe it's the damage. You know, I don't know. But he's never been KO'd.
Right.
He's never been KO'd, you know. I don't know. Gastelum, we know he's a wrestler first and foremost. His boxing's really good, though. He's been in a lot of bangers, you know. Chris Curtis, though, really good, right?
The action man.
The action man, legit power in his hands. I've made the mistake of underestimating him early in his career, like his first couple fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't work out well for me. I lost money on, his fights. This is a really tough one, man. This is a really, really tough one. I want Gastelum to win.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm gonna go 29-28 Gastelum.
Okay.
I could absolutely see Chris Curtis winning it, though.
Yeah. I mean, every part of me wants to choose Kelvin Gastelum.
Me too.
So I'm with you. Absolute my boy. That's an our boy.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Kelvin Gastelum, certified our boy. Yeah, I want to pick him, man. I just don't know that I can.
I just picked him just to say something now.
Right.
It's tough, man.
1 win, Dino, in his last 6 fights.
Yeah.
We're in the year of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
He has 1 win since 2019.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't looked bad per se in those fights. He just seems to have lost the step since that Adesanya fight, which was absolutely bananas. We haven't seen him in a year and a half. He's pulled out of some fights since then with injuries. I know like 2 months ago he had like the broken teeth mouth injury thing happening. If you remember that picture on Instagram, That was like really violent. I don't know, man. And then on the other hand, Chris Curtis, as I mentioned on the casuals thing, he's been on kind of a tear since he joined the UFC. Besides the hiccup against Jack Hermanson, he looked terrible in that fight. He could not get to Jack Hermanson at all.
And on the striking.
Yeah, which
and
was
the striking,
crazy.
Hermanson was piecing him up.
Yeah, it was nuts. But then besides that, he knocked out Joaquin Buckley. He's been winning the rest of his fights in the UFC. He's training with killers like Sean Strickland every day. Very active guy. Not pulling out with injuries.
He's never fought anybody the level of Kelvin Gastelum.
Agreed. And that's kind of like, that's kind of where that's what's giving me like a little bit of hope for Kelvin Gastelum. I think this is a huge step up in competition for Chris Curtis. It's crazy to me that the odds have Kelvin Gastelum as a favorite here.
Oh, they do.
It's a slight favorite, but whatever.
Dude, he's so young here. Doesn't
Yeah.
even look like him anymore.
That's dope.
Kelvin Gastelum looks like every Dominican dude, who drives.
He's
a truck.
Mexican, right?
I know, yeah, but he looks like every Dominican, I guess, or Mexican dude that drives a truck.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, I'm down. But yeah, I don't think Chris Curtis finishes Kelvin Gastelum. I think Kelvin Gastelum is very tough to finish.
Oh.
Not like that. I don't know about that,
You think?
Man, wow. Who
You
knows?
think he just lets him fly? He's shooting ropes.
The way he fights, I wouldn't doubt it. Just like wild. But anyways, I'm going to say unanimous decision. Chris Curtis 30-27, maybe a 29-28 sprinkled in, something like that. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope Kelvin Gastelum wins, but I liked Chris Curtis at the beginning of his UFC career. I kind of liked him I think he was in the PFL or was the World Series of Fighting or whatever the hell it was.
I like Chris Curtis.
I actually, like I said, I liked him. I actually am starting to not F with Chris Curtis.
Why?
Just the way he acted after that Jack Hermanson fight.
He didn't take that win well at all, or lost well at all.
And I don't really like Roman Dolidze, and he was kind of just like, remember when Roman Dolidze and Jack Hermanson were fighting? I know they were at the same gym, but he was in his corner just like rooting against Jack Hermanson. It seems like you're a hater. Yeah. Like that was like the vibe I got from him, like a jealous ass hater.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah,
I hope Kelvin Gastelum wins.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Are you going to bet this fight? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Yeah.
I don't mind losing
if you're betting it.
Yeah, Kelvin Gastelum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because, like, I don't...
Even though he's the favorite.
Yeah, I'm not going to bet on the guy. Like,
and you have this dude wins. So he's the favorite. So you don't want the plus odds on Chris Curtis.
A lot of times when I know that when there's a fight and it's a fighter I don't like and it's a fighter I do like.
Yep.
And the odds are like...
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, it's like I'm just going to stay clear.
Yeah,
I don't even want to make the money.
I thought you were going to say, like, I'm going to bet him because in case he does lose, it's like at least I won money.
No, never that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not never, seldom that.
I do that with the Bears.
Yeah, but to me that's different.
Yeah.
I feel like fighting's so personal.
It is.
So, like,
let's say... That meme you sent me the other day was perfect.
What was it? I don't even remember.
Where it was like when your girl's laughing when your favorite fighter gets knocked out.
Yeah. It'd be like that.
Yeah, that was that perfectly encapsulates what that feeling.
Right, but yeah, like I'm saying, when it's a fighter I like versus a fighter I don't like, even if I think the fighter I don't like is gonna win, I'll generally just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna steer clear of this fight. I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Or because then like I'm not gonna be happy if he knocks my dude out and I win like $100 or $200. It's like I don't want it.
Yeah.
No, I'd forget you. I'm straight.
Okay. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Cool. Well, are you good to move on?
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Next fight on the card.
Main card.
Raul Rosas Jr. versus Christian Rodriguez. Yeah, I'll let you take this one first, man.
Cool.
Give me it.
Christian Rodriguez, Chicago-born, by the way.
Yup.
Did not know that.
He's from the go.
That's pretty cool. Shout out Christian Rodriguez. Shout out Chicago again at this point. He takes on Raul Rosas Jr. Here's the thing. I kind of like Christian Rodriguez. I think he's pretty damn good after seeing his tape. He gets taken down a lot, which is obviously very worrying against Raul Rosas. He's done well to survive down there, but I think the UFC knows what they're doing by putting Raul Rosas in this position, putting him against a guy that's been taken down or been easy to be taken down. I don't know that this fight belongs on the main card, but on the business side, I guess that's what they're trying to do. I really don't like this shit, to be honest with you.
I don't like it either.
I get it. You want to make stars, but this whole artificially making stars thing is kind of bullshit to me. I don't think they're doing it the right way.
Dana.
Hey, but you're right. You let it happen authentically, right?
Yeah.
You let that shit happen, and it just seems like they're really forcing this down our throats right now. No Jeff Molina kind of thing. But anyways, I think they know what they're doing, and I think Raul Rosas will be in for a tougher fight than he expects. But I think he gets a finish in round 3. I think if Christian Rodriguez wants to win this fight, he needs a finish, because even if he beats the shit out of Raul Rosas, we're going to see a Patty the Batty type of decision here. He needs a finish.
Yeah. I could totally see that.
I'll sprinkle a little bit on Rodriguez by finish, just because it's probably going to be crazy odds, but yeah. I do believe Raul Rosas gets the sub late in this fight.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you for the most part.
Yeah.
Obviously, for the UFC, the thing that they really want to happen is for Raul Rosas to win.
Of course.
Christian Rodriguez is definitely a step up in competition for him. I just think Raul Rosas is too relentless, man. He's so goddamn high energy. And, is he the best striker in the world? No, he's not. He's very raw as a striker, Christian Rodriguez is not, the craziest striker either. But, yeah, I don't think he's going to steamroll him like he did his last couple opponents that we've seen him take on. But I do think that he gets the submission finish, and I'm going to go say round 2.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think the hype train rolls on, man.
I'd be happy, though, if our Chicago boy was able to get this done.
I would prefer it personally because I don't think Raul... Listen, all credit to the kid, man. He's, 18, 19?
Super impressive to be in the UFC dominating and finishing guys in the first round.
18?
Yeah, 18.
That's amazing,
man. That's bananas.
That's amazing. What the hell were we doing at 18?
Not that.
Certainly
We're
not
fighting
that.
people, not for money.
Not for money.
Yeah.
I actually was training a little bit, but I certainly wasn't in the UFC, I'll tell you that much.
Right.
Although the state of the heavyweight division right now, maybe I could have been.
Maybe you could have been.
Yeah, man. Obviously, this is what the UFC wants. Like you said, I'm not saying they're fixing fights or anything, but if there's any opportunity to swing it a little bit his way,
right?
I think that's where the error, that's where it's gonna sway. Yeah, I'm gonna go Rosas by second round sub.
Oh, Rosas.
Does he have teeth?
I don't think he does, bro.
It doesn't look like he has any teeth.
In all his pictures, it looks like he rocks dentures, bro. He's got the...
Cynthia G's! All right, man. Moving on to the next fight on the card. And this is... I think this is going to be a banger.
Yeah.
It's Kelvin Holland versus Santiago Ponzinibbio.
Certified banger, by the way.
Absolutely, man. Santiago Ponzinibbio, what a shame that he had that big injury.
No.
It wasn't a shame?
No, I don't know.
That he had, what was it? I forgot. Was it his knee or... He had a big injury, a few years ago, and he was out for, 2 years. But
he was he had, an infection, right? It was
that's right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was bad. Unfortunate for him. It really stalled his career. But, man, he's had an okay run, kind of. He did beat Alex Morono with an overhand right in the third round. Alex Morono was piecing him up, man. He
dropped him multiple times. He
had the split decision to Michel Pereira, a split decision loss to Jeff Neal. He beat Miguel Baeza. He lost to Li Jingliang by a nasty knockout.
Li Jingliang. Shout out Li Jingliang. Hope recover,
Yeah, man,
recovery.
That's a serious injury, too.
Yeah.
That's a big-time injury. Wins against your boy Mike Perry and Gunnar Nelson and Neil Magny. So, Santiago Ponzinibbio...
good fighters.
Exactly. Sean Strickland.
Yeah.
He's fought really, really good competition. But, he's lost 3 of his last 5 fights, On the other hand, we have a certified, I would say, our boy, dare I say.
Sure.
Kelvin Holland. Yes, he lost to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Yes, he lost to Hamzat really, really badly. But, who didn't expect that? He didn't take that much damage. And, hell, he had Wonderboy rock, too.
Yeah.
Alex Morono was piecing up Ponzinibbio. This one's pretty straightforward for me, man. Mm-hmm. Kelvin Holland has a penchant for finding that knockout blow.
Yeah.
You know, he's really good at connecting fist to jaw.
Agreed.
And I just think at this stage, Santiago Ponzinibbio too is what, 37 years old?
Yeah.
Is it?
Something like that. He's old.
He's old. I mean, shit. I'm 32.
He's almost 37.
Yeah. So
he's old. When we say old, it's for fighting.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It hurts me a little to say like I'm gonna be there in like 4 years.
Like if you were in the UFC, you'd be like, he's getting on in years. You know?
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, if you were like a running back, it'd be over.
Oh, you retired 8 years ago.
Oh my God, it's over.
We went to high school with a NFL running back,
Richard Mendenhall.
Shout out Richard Mendenhall.
Absolutely.
And he was good in the NFL.
He was really good.
And
he was for him. What a transition too.
Yeah, and he was out of the league like pretty quickly. He could still kind of like hang. It seemed like towards the end of his career, he wanted to get out and like stay healthy.
Were the Cardinals the last team he was on? Yeah. Right? It was just the Steelers and the Cardinals.
Yeah. And he was out of the league by like 28 years old.
What's his name? Was it Ray Lewis? Put a hit on him though.
Yeah. Shout out Ray Lewis. Never thought we'd get there.
Yeah. Clearly we like other sports too, but not as much as this one. So, yeah, man, I'm going to go Kevin Holland by violent knockout. Like violent.
Yeah.
What round? I don't know. I'm going to say second round maybe.
Yeah.
Could even be third round. I could totally see that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kevin Holland's improving, man. I think he's for sure the younger fighter, and he's taking a lot less damage. I think Ponzinibbio has taken a shit ton of damage at this stage of his career.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, also there's an 8-inch reach advantage. I mean, that's a lot of inches.
That's what she
Even
said.
half of that is like big enough, I would say. So it's like enough inches, right?
It's not.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go Kevin Holland by vicious knockout, second round.
Down. Yeah, I have to agree with you. I have to go with Kevin Holland here. Ponzinibbio looked bad until his knockout last time out. He is getting on in years. I think he's starting to get comfortable. He does work with the UFC on the Spanish broadcasting team. If he was in the WWE, his table would get broken all the time. And yeah, there's that.
Bang, 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 bang.
Ooh.
You ever think about that?
No.
Bamboleo.
I know the song. Bamboleo. Who's that?
Gypsy Kings.
Gypsy Kings. That's what I was going to say,
Yeah.
Shout out Gypsy Kings. Anyways, Santiago, 36 years old. Kevin Holland still kind of in his prime at 30. Not kind of. He is in his prime at 30. I think Kevin Holland will eventually find him. I agree with you. He will drop him. I don't know if he sparks him out cold. That's kind of what you were making it seem to be, like just a really bad sleeping knockout.
Yep. I think so.
I think he does get a finish in the second round.
I think it's going to be like...
That's sad. Like one of those.
Yeah.
Damn, that'd be crazy. Because that would propel Kevin Holland back to 2020 levels of popularity in the UFC. If he can get like a highlight reel sleeping knockout.
Yeah. I just want to ask you, did you see what he posted today on Instagram?
Yeah, about the food.
yeah.
That's pretty dope.
He posted a DM to Santiago Ponzinibbio, and he's like, what's up, man? Like, we both can make 170, but like, why? Let's just both agree not to, and like, let's just not cut the weight, and like,
catch weight 185.
You know, he was for sure like cutting weight, and he's like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Let's not.
Let's just eat. He's like, we're in Miami. I'll buy you lunch. There's a lot of good food out
there. Yeah. It looks like there's some good food out here. Yep.
Yeah, I feel him. Yeah. So Kevin Holland, round 2. I don't think it is going to be that spark out cold knockout.
Oh, really?
But it will be a knockout.
Man, I don't know.
Not a TKO, a KO.
I don't know.
For Kevin Holland.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair. Moving on to the third to last fight on the card, and this is another banger. This is where it really starts to heat up. This
Such
is
good matchmaking.
Crazy fight, man. Love this card. Love this card overall. It's Rob Font versus Adrian Yanez. I'll let you take this one first.
Fabrant, where you at? Remember that? The Sean O'Malley thing?
Yeah.
Anyways, Rob Font, Adrian Yanez, old guard versus the new. I really like the matchmaking here. It makes a ton of sense. Adrian Yanez 5-0 in the promotion, working his way up the ladder. Rob Font lost last time out to Chito Vera, took a shit ton of damage.
Oh my God, yeah.
You would assume he's kind of on his way down with the age being what it is. Who do you take here, right? I feel like you got to go with the younger guy on his way up. Adrian Yanez has not looked as impressive as he did early on in his UFC career, which was like, 2 years ago? But I mean, like the first few fights, he looked a lot more impressive.
He had a split decision to Davey Grant. I mean...
Right. And the rest of the guys are not in the UFC, the guys that he beat. Or is Randy Costa still in the UFC?
I thought Randy was. No, he's not.
Okay. So, anyways, his whole thing is like...
Actually, yeah, he is.
Okay.
He lost to Guido Canetti.
Nice.
In October.
Shout out Guido Canetti. Here's the thing.
I love that you just shot these people out.
You got to shout them out.
Yeah,
so
that's nice.
I think when it comes to the boxing, which this should be a stand-up fight, I think Rob Font is the more technical boxer here. I think technique-wise, he's better than Adrian Yanez is. However, Rob Font is notorious for throwing pillow hands.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I didn't look like that earlier in his career. It was last two fights.
Last few fights, he looked like he throws soft. Adrian Yanez does not throw soft.
No, he does not.
And with the damage that Rob Font took last time out against Cheeto, like he was beating up Cheeto. He was outscoring him. He's beating him like points wise until he would get dropped and like violently hit.
Dude, he took a lot of damage, and
his face was messed up.
Badly. Like, he might have had like. Did he have a medical suspension? He must have had.
He had to have. Yeah, I mean, he for sure had like
something
fractured everything in his something for sure. Anyways,
also I didn't realize how old he was.
He's like what, 36, 37?
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's 30. Yeah, he's 36, man.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Rob Font is that old.
Yeah.
I thought he was like 33.
Right. So I have to take the younger fighter here in Adrian Yanez, being 6 years younger at 29. He has looked, unbeatable so far in the UFC, I would say. Like, besides that
Yanez?
besides that Davey Grant fight, which he didn't look like himself.
Don't get it twisted, though. This is a big step up.
Huge step up. It's not... I'm not saying Rob Font can't win this fight.
Yeah.
He can definitely win this fight. This is a very close fight. It's great matchmaking for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that Yanez is on his way up, and Font may be on his way down. Minus 180 for Yanez seems a bit wide.
Yeah.
Plus 150 for Rob Font seems about right.
Yeah.
I would put it at Like
I wouldn't think, honestly. I'm kind of surprised that Yanez is the favorite. I thought he would actually be. It would be like the odds would be the same, but the other way around.
Yeah, I figured he would be the favorite just because Rob Font looked like he got beat up so.
He took
bad
a lot of damage, man.
Right,
and at 35, 36 years old at that point, that's a lot of damage.
Right, and he did just have a daughter a few months ago. I saw that on Embedded today. He looks like he's in good spirits. He's originally from Florida. We'll see how that works for him. I just have to say Yanez 29-28. If Rob Font wins, I'll be pleasantly surprised. 29-28 Adrian Yanez. Should be a damn good fight.
Yeah, for sure.
Very technical.
Definitely very technical. Yeah, I don't see anybody getting finished here.
Yeah.
Adrian Yanez in a way reminds me of a young Jorge Masvidal.
He definitely does. You've made that comparison to me before.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. He also kind of reminds me of a young Rob Font.
Sure. Yeah. He's got hands, man. He's got hands, but more than anything to me, he's got a really good chin.
Yeah.
A really, really good chin. We've seen his chin tested.
Super itchy here right now, and I feel like I got bit by a mosquito.
No. You know what's crazy? I'm itchy right here, but it's only because I got dry skin. So, so anyway, a lot of itching and scratching on this show right now. Like you said, I think the fact that Rob Font has looked a little pillow-fisted in his last couple fights. Also, again, I didn't realize how old he is. He's 35 or 36 years old at this point, and at a lighter weight class. This is what 135. I mean, man, the skills are very, very important in this weight class, especially against a young, up and coming, dangerous fighter like Adrian Yanez. Rob Font is just, I wouldn't say his chin is like super questionable, but Yanez has legit power. And Yanez has the better chin. I mean, we've seen his chin tested, and I'm way more comfortable with it. So I agree with you. I think not a split decision, I'm sorry, but a 29-28 decision for Adrian Yanez. I don't know why I paused there.
It's okay.
But, all right, moving up for the co-main event, which is another crazy-ass fight.
I hate it.
You hate it?
Yeah, I just don't like these. It's like the Oliveira-Beneil fight that's coming up. I don't like it.
Why? Because it's two like guys that you like? Yeah. Yep.
I've never rooted against either one of these guys.
Durinho.
Gilbert Durinho.
Burns. It burns when I pee.
Shout out Mr. Burns from The Simpsons.
Excellent.
Right.
Yeah. Right. It's Gilbert Burns versus Jorge Masvidal.
Masvidal. Game bread.
Yeah, what is there to say about this fight?
You tell me.
Nothing. Forget about it. Let's just not say it.
All right. Moving on to the main event, guys.
This to me, I know Jorge Masvidal has been talking a lot of shit. A lot of shit leading up to this fight, as he tends to do. He's one of the biggest stars in the game. I think Gilbert Burns did himself a huge favor by having the balls to take that Khamzat fight. Yeah. And not only to take the fight, but have Khamzat stumbling, rumbling, mumbling a couple times and just putting on an absolute banger of a show. And then one thing that I noticed is, yes, then he ended up beating Neil Magny after that.
On our first episode of this, was it?
Wow,
it wasn't the one that debuted.
Yeah.
But it was the first one we recorded.
Yep. Crazy. But, look, people don't beat Neil Magny as easily
right.
as he did. Masvidal's almost 40, man. He's 38 and a half years old. I don't think he has this crazy power that people make him out to seem like he does. We were just talking about that before we hit play on this. But, Masvidal had the Askren knockout, flying knee. Such a crazy, nobody can prepare for that, right? Like, just a one-off kind of crazy thing that happens, like you said, exactly. And then he had the Darren Till knockout, which was a beautiful knockout. He is a legend of the sport, 2 decades in the game pretty much at this point.
Yeah.
All respect to Jorge Masvidal. I just don't see him beating this version of Masvidal is not going to beat this version of Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
4 years ago, I think this would be a closer fight. I think I would probably side with Masvidal 3-4 years ago.
Same.
At this stage of their careers, man, I don't want to see either of these guys lose. I really don't. Right. Like you said earlier, I like both of them. I think Jorge Masvidal's mouth at this point is smarter and better than his actual fighting skills. And I'm not saying he's a bad fighter. I just think that Gilbert Burns is that good. I think Gilbert Burns has that crazy left check hook. I really like Gilbert Burns. I think he's got legit power. I think he's got a pretty good chin, too. I know Usman put him down, but, it's Usman, right?
Right.
The way I see this fight playing out is mostly on the feet. I see them both kind of getting at each other. I think it's actually going to be kind of a slow start to the fight.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a longer feeling out process. Unless Masvidal just commits and he's like, I need to go for this, Mm-hmm. I guess, man, at the end of the day, the way I see it finishing is I do see Gilbert Burns catching Masvidal and catching him and either... I don't really even see a TKO. I think he's going to catch him and then Masvidal's going to fall and he's going to take his back and, get a rear naked, or he's going to take his back or he's going to drop him and get, a guillotine. I feel like he's going to drop him and then get a submission.
Okay, fair. I do want to mention a couple things. There's the narrative that Gilbert Burns is chinny. You pointed to that.
I wouldn't say he's even chinny. Would you?
I mean, we've seen him be chinny and susceptible to the straight shots down the middle.
Sure.
That's what Usman was repeatedly dropping him with. That's what Khamzat Chimaev dropped him with in the first. We've seen him be wobbled. I think Wonder Boy, when we were at that fight, I think Wonder Boy had him wobbled with a straight
fight,
shot.
Dude.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
That killed my boner, dog.
It'd be like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I don't know. I don't know that he is chinny. I know Jorge Masvidal does have the power to put Gilbert Burns out, for sure. We're not saying that Jorge Masvidal doesn't have power.
Chinny, do he be?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I like that. It's pretty good.
Yeah, thank you.
Pretty good. Anyways, Masvidal has this whole narrative. He's been saying it this whole week. You mentioned he's been talking some shit. He's been saying, you know what I do to crotch sniffers. I knock them out. And it's like, yeah, you knocked out Ben Askren. But then the other times you fought crotch sniffers as of late, quote-unquote crotch sniffers.
You got Russell fudged.
Usman Russell fudged you the first time.
Yep.
Colby Russell fudged you the last time.
Mm-hmm.
And then in between that, Usman sparked you out, viciously.
Oh, my God.
Viciously. So, do you do that to crotch sniffers?
Right.
Right.
Probably
I don't know.
not.
You've done it.
You have.
Right. But I guess,
What kind of fudge do you think you like the most?
I don't even... Is there kinds of fudge?
Yep.
I
was at Comic-Con this past weekend. There was a stand.
Of fudge.
Of just different kinds of fudge.
Were you fudging?
Well...
Did you fudge?
No, I took a bunch of shrooms and 35 milligrams edibles.
Nice.
If any of my clients are watching this, I didn't do that. So, but yeah, that was cool though.
That's good, man.
That was a really good time.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, it also goes to show you, like, I enjoy those things.
Okay.
You know, but for some people, like, that's their Super Bowl.
Comic-Con.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, they go in and they're decked out, dude.
Right.
Like, they thought they were like legit Deadpool or whoever. You know.
I like it.
Shout out Deadpool.
Shout out Deadpool.
Yeah. Shout out Ryan Reynolds. Shout out Brian Reynolds.
Facts.
He's stomping on your ass right now.
In fantasy baseball.
We're playing each other this week.
And before the season, Dino was talking to me about Brian Reynolds. Told him I really like the guy. I think he's a great ball player.
That's bullshit.
He's looking.
That's bullshit. Actually, it was during the draft.
Okay. Well,
I took him, and you were like, the one nice thing you said to me in the last month. You said, I like that pick.
Okay. Well, I do like Brian Reynolds. Hopefully, he gets a good contract and gets the hell out of the NL Central.
Yep.
Anyways, we are going way too off topic here.
Yep.
Talking about shrooms and Comic-Con.
And Brian Reynolds.
And Brian Reynolds and
hey,
Ryan
we're
Reynolds.
having a good time.
Anyways, I think I like what you're saying. I like Gilbert Burns at some point catching Jorge Masvidal, jumping on top, getting a submission. That all sounds about right to me. Like you said, guillotine, RNC. I can even see an arm bar happening. We haven't seen Gilbert Burns with an arm bar in a while. He used to have a ton of those. Maybe that's what happens here. I think minus 500 is bananas.
Oh my god, is that what the odds are?
It's Gilbert Burns.
I haven't looked at the odds of it. Minus 500?
Gilbert Burns minus 500, which is crazy.
Those are insane odds.
Yeah.
Those are stupid.
It's nuts.
Those are stupid odds. Those are some of the worst odds I've heard in a minute.
Yeah, it's bad.
What's Masvidal? Like plus 350?
Something like that. Let's see.
By the way, God forbid they give you the equal odds on the other side, right?
Plus 360.
Damn, I'm good though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to know, like, why can't they give me plus 500 then?
Right.
If y'all are saying, but God forbid we make a little money.
Right. No.
They're like, oh, this guy's for sure gonna win, but no, you can't. Like,
you can't have a dollar.
Forget about it.
But Masvidal by knockout will probably be around 500. So that is something to be if you're interested in that.
It's got to be more than that, no?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think Jorge Masvidal is not as committed to the game as he once was. All the money, all the business stuff with Recuerdo and with Game Bred Boxing. And all that. Yeah, Gilbert Burns, man, I think he does get a finish here. He looks hungry, man. He wants to get to that title fight again.
And he deserves it.
And yeah, he looks like a dog, man. As of late, that Chimaev fight was super impressive. The Neil Magny finish was super impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out these two, man. Burns and Masvidal, two my boys.
Yeah, more than anything, I can't wait to see this fight. This one's going to have that nervous energy around it.
1,000.
For sure.
1,000%.
Yep.
And it's Killcliff, which is the name of Sanford MMA now, versus American Top Team.
Killcliff?
Yeah, it's like the bars, right?
I hate that.
Yeah, anyways, Killcliff FC versus American Top Team. So Sanford versus American Top Team, pretty dope.
Sure.
And where's this fight taking place?
In Miami.
Let's get it.
All right, man. It's time.
No.
For the main event of the evening. Introducing first.
Fighting.
It's Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya 4/technically 2. Yeah, tell me, man. Tell me. I'm curious to hear what you have to say about this one.
I really am. First because here's the thing.
Okay.
I'm on a 5-fight winning streak on main events.
Yeah.
And you've been going first each time.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. So why don't you tell me what you think about Poatan and the last style bender?
I think this is straightforward. I think we've seen it play out.
Yeah.
We've seen it play out. I think Israel Adesanya has a chance to win.
Sure.
I think he has no chance to finish Alex Pereira, even though we saw him rocked in the second round of their first fight.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening. I think that Poatan is going to get a finish in the second or third round this time.
Yeah. Knockout?
Oh, knockout for sure.
Do you think out cold? Do you think TKO? You think similar to last time?
I think out cold this time.
Out cold?
I think out cold this time.
I've been hearing
like their second
like the
kickboxing fight. Yeah.
I've been hearing that a lot. And that does seem to be, like, it almost seems as if the majority of the public is picking Alex Pereira via knockout.
Yes.
This time out. The betting odds do not reflect that.
Really?
Israel Adesanya, a slight favorite at minus 145, is the last I've seen it. Very interesting to me.
Yeah, minus 145 plus 120.
Right, and then the public on Tapology has it as a 60-40 to Pereira. So
I was just looking for that. Yeah.
Are you putting your money where your mouth is, or is this Izzy haters?
I think there is a lot of that. I think you're right. I think there is a lot to be said about Izzy haters.
Right.
You know,
I was watching. I forget the guy's name, and I feel terrible now. He's a big MMA journalist. He has a YouTube channel where they do like the fighters predict.
Dino Strancic.
Was it you? No, but he does.
Dino.
Yeah.
Sorry?
It wasn't us.
You were watching on 10/7?
Right.
You just didn't realize.
By the way, like and subscribe. We didn't do that.
Hey,
ring the little thing down there.
If you were that late, I just pictured you. Slapped as fuck, just watching YouTube, and our channel came up, and you just didn't realize. You were like,
these guys are really getting there.
You guys are pretty profound. Like, I agree. Like,
but yeah, so this guy does a ton of interviews. A lot of his channel is the MMA pros pick.
Yeah.
And in this fight, a lot of the pros were picking Israel Adesanya. It was like the vast majority of them were picking Israel Adesanya. Just a smorgasbord of them, if you will.
Never thought for once that I would hear the word smorgasbord on this channel.
Yeah, but a lot of them are picking Israel Adesanya. And here's my whole thing. I like to make this main event like bigger than it is always.
Yeah.
And since I am on that 5-fight win streak, let me do this. I don't buy that this story finishes here.
What do you mean?
That Chael Sonnen was saying, win or loss, no matter what happens, they should end this. Like, if Adesanya wins, they shouldn't do a trilogy.
No, if Adesanya wins, it's definitely not over.
Right.
There's no chance it's over if Adesanya wins.
Sure.
If Adesanya loses...
Yeah, if Poatan wins, then it
over.
Needs to be over,
it's
right?
over.
It's
How many times do you... Dude,
right.
Okay, I want to just real before you go on, as a man, not as a fighter especially, but as a man, dude.
Yeah. Like, you've bested me at that point, yeah.
Dude, if you and me did anything together, and you fucked me up 4 times in a row,
you don't.
And especially fighting, I don't know.
Right.
I'm not saying that, but I don't know, man. I don't know what I would do with myself.
Right.
I think I would need to go in the woods for a few months.
Like Yuri.
Some Yuri shit, yeah.
Like,
go in the woods and sit in silence by myself and just analyze. Is this for me?
Right.
I know I know how good I am, but this guy,
I don't know.
I can't I'm scared.
Right.
How is he not scared, bro? How is he? You tell me, is he not scared? He's gotta be scared.
And hear me out though, right? So besides not buying that this is over, this story doesn't end here, is what I'm saying. The last time these two fought, Dino, or I'm sorry, hold on. You were mentioning the scared thing.
Yeah.
Israel Adesanya, a lot of people are mentioning that Israel Adesanya looks scared this time. That he looks intimidated. He doesn't have that same swagger and cockiness and confidence.
I don't even know that.
And here's the thing. No, I think it's pretty clear that he is different this time out. And he's been saying a lot of crazy shit like, this is it for me. Like, this is the one. If it's not this, then I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. Alluding to maybe retirement if he loses.
I mean, that's crazy.
But whatever.
He's been so good. Let's just take one step back.
Right.
We can't take away
how
good he has been. He was on his way to GOAT status.
Right.
He's the second greatest middleweight of all time?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Here's what I want to say, though. I have to go based off of what I've seen when these two have fought. And I hate doing this because we had to do this with the Moreno and Figgy situation. And we had
You can't really look at any other fight.
Right.
Yeah.
So hear me out. The last time these two fought, Israel Adesanya was winning the fight until he wasn't.
Yep.
Similar to the Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards situation. However, unlike Kamaru Usman, Israel Adesanya luckily did not get sparked out cold. Yep. I think it was heading there. Had Mark Goddard not done the early stoppage, it was probably ending up with Israel Adesanya sleeping in the next 5 to 10 seconds.
Yep.
Poatan was going to land something vicious and put him out. Lucky for him, he doesn't have to deal with that. He didn't get slept. So I think that's huge for his confidence. It's huge for his ability to take a shot and not be as skittish or hesitant to go in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know there's something to be said about having someone's number, but I just can't imagine that somebody so talented, so skilled as a fighter as Israel Adesanya can just repeatedly lose to the same guy over and over again, and it's not a guy that is unbeatable. Like, when I look at Alex Pereira, I don't think...
There's holes in his game.
Yeah, like, who's going to stop this guy? Even if he beats Adesanya here, I don't think he remains champion for very long at 185.
I think Whitaker could beat him.
I think Bobby Knuckles would beat him as well.
I love Bobby Knuckles.
Now, anyways, I think what we're going to get in Miami is the stars aligning for Israel Adesanya. Reclaims his throne, gets his win back, gets his title back.
I genuinely would like to see it.
And it sets up a massive super fight November, December of this year. The trilogy between these two. And you ready for this?
Do you think they have to do the trilogy right away? If
I don't think they
have to. In this division, they certainly could, though.
Right, they certainly could. Maybe Alex Pereira moves up to 205 if he loses here.
No way. I'm just saying, man.
Alex Pereira's going to push for that. There's some interesting fights there for him. You ready for this, though? I think Israel Adesanya plays the patient game in round 1. Point fighting a little bit. Kind of sees, they're both really smart strikers.
Yeah.
They both like to measure out the first round. Yep. It seems like that's what they do. I think in round 2, Israel Adesanya starts working in the grappling that he's been, working towards. We've seen that's
really. You think he is going to be able to grapple this time?
I think he's going to go for the takedown.
You think he's going to get it though?
I think he's going to get it in round 2.
I don't see that happening, man.
I think he gets some ground and pound on him there, Dino, and then I think Israel Adesanya locks up a sub. I have Izzy round 2 sub. I know that's crazy, but we're in Miami and let's get wild for number 6.
What are the odds on that?
I don't know, but I'm betting Izzy round 2 sub.
Now I have to sprinkle it because you said it.
That's how I feel. So, I know it's crazy. I know it's nuts.
And what a way to end the predictions for this episode. Anyway, insane card regardless. Yeah. I love that whole breakdown you just did. Now you got my Bulls a little...
Hey, let's get it.
You got my Bulls.
I'm going for number 6. Yeah. Next week is Max Holloway versus Arnold Allen. I'm hitting number 7 on that. If I hit 6 here, I'm hitting 7 there.
On that?
If not, I'm starting new. Max Holloway.
Me too.
I'm not. We don't even watch next week. Yeah. You don't need to watch, but you should. You should also like and subscribe. The 107 MMA. Ring the little bell. Follow us on Instagram. Your boy's checkmarked. I might have paid for it. I might not have. Who knows? We'll never know.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me know, so I can also be checkmarked.
You'll be checkmarked soon.
Yeah.
You got $15? I know a guy. Okay. I know a guy on Instagram.
All right.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Anything else?
I love you.
I love you too, brother.
I love you.
I'm happy to be back. Peace.